Ta-da.
Let's
You
make
made
this
it.
bigger.
Ooh, look at us. Wow. StreamYard's got some
I
new
need
things that they're
I need
doing.
a drink today.
Hey, look, we've all got. Oh, man. I feel like Final Destination 12. All the things are happening. All the things are happening. They're trying to take us out, Matt. We're sharing too accurate of information here on Astrology and Alchemy. And they're. Anyway. We'll just skip right past all that.
Which actually, I honestly, I know we said some big things are going to happen Monday and Tuesday. I actually have not. It's partially for my own mental health. I actually haven't been paying attention to news. So I couldn't tell you whether something happened or not right now.
I don't even know what day it is. I mean, I suppose it's Tuesday because we're doing the show, but all day it's not. It's just felt weird. I had one of those, I don't know, it probably happens 3 or 4 times a year where you fall asleep and you wake up and you don't know where you are, what life you're in, what
day, where you're at.
Anything. Just, and there's kind of a panic, like, you're unprepared. It was really scary. So I had one of those today, and it's just all the things, but it's probably has something to do with the astrology. I know we shared last week, what's happening today, Mars in Scorpio, Pluto and Capricorn. We said this is reactionary. Today's counter strike day. Today's remorse and resentment day. Ooh. So looking back on that, I think, okay, I can see some of that. I can see where some of that might be. The week ahead is the last week of November, guys. So if you're joining us for the very first time here on Astrology and Alchemy with Sarah and Matt, get a piece of paper out, man, or email yourself. Pull up a blank email, compose an email to yourself where you are chatting with your own mind about the things popping into your space so that you are able to see. You're able to respond to your own intuition. Use it, if you will, right? And if you're in the chat room and you have some things to add, hopefully some of our house astrologers here, we're going to see what the last week of November. What do you think? Have any thoughts? Thoughts or hopes?
But, there's been, since there was a lot of Pluto stuff last week, I'm going to assume we don't have a lot of Pluto stuff this week. So that's better. Whenever it's Pluto, it's big stuff. So something big happened, whether we know it or not. Something big happened in the last 48 hours. That's kind of like have a huge impact on us.
It is and has, yes. Things just shifting.
Pluto just does its thing and it doesn't give a shit.
It's back there doing its stuff. God, it feels like a Nicole Kidman movie. It's just, there's nothing you can do about it, but you just have to watch it. It's kind of ugly the whole time.
Meme. I don't know if we have some of the same friends, so maybe you saw this. I just got to say this because this is Pluto relevant. It said Pluto has not completed a full orbit of the sun since it was discovered. And somebody posted underneath it going, I wouldn't finish my job if I got fired either.
What? Yeah. I haven't seen that one. Poor Pluto. Hell yeah. Just I'm out here then. Oh, good. There we have Steph in the chat room. Gosh, we've got so many great people in the chat. Chet, Matthew, Steph, Mallory, Katie, people joining from all sorts of spaces. Really cool to see people. Thank you guys so much. Okay. Let's hope not for the Pluto movements, but it is moving and it is happening. And it's back there in the background. Like the farthest part, if you're in, I think of if you are into Hollywood movie making, the farthest backdrop, the farthest way back there.
I think of it as, this show's old now, so I don't know how many people saw it, but I think of like Lost, where there was that like under that hatch, and there was that huge wheel, and when they like shifted the wheel, like the whole like island, like shit, like that's like the Pluto movement.
Ooh.
Like the moon's like little tiny, like it just comes and goes. It's like little, like not super, but like when Pluto does something big or when it changes signs, it's like everything moves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 All right, guys. So put those dots down. Wednesday, unless Steph has something different, let's get going for Astrology and Alchemy the week ahead of November 22nd, the last week in November. It starts with Wednesday. Matthew has a lot of extra work to do today because usually I put in the chat room and try and post things in there, and I can't because the universe is taking away my privileges. I'm
I will
fighting,
do it.
guys. Well, it's in there, but it's not going to be posted like usual because I don't have all the access like I usually do. I have to like log in and out, so it's a big nightmare. But anyway,
Tomorrow starts, as my son mispronounced it, Sagittarius season.
Sagittarius sister. Sagittarius season. Yeah, get your bras out, ladies. Sagittarius season starts tomorrow. It's kind of the days before going into Thanksgiving, which I think is both interesting, relevant, useful. So what do you say when you think of that? I think of the sun being the center. I think of Sagittarius being the archer, being the adventurer, being that. And this is for the next 4 weeks. So what is it, Matt? What do we have to think
Yeah,
about?
that's exactly it. Exploration, trying new things. I always say like the two party signs, Gemini and Sag. Gemini is the one working the whole room, being the life of the party. Sag is the one jumping out the window into the pool below. Like it's like the bungee jumper. I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but Sagittarius is like the jackass energy. Like they'll just,
Johnny Knoxville.
they'll just do stuff just to do stuff.
Yeah, and that's not bad. That's fun. You kind of need that person sometimes. My very best friend is a Sagittarius with a lot of the underbelly being Scorpio, which I just find really interesting. And that Sagittarius fire is hard to get knocked down on a calendar, but man, you want to go thrift store shopping right now? Yes. Want to go out and do this right now? Something new? Sure. That fire, that malleable, mutable fire is going to do it. And they're really fun. So what new things do you have starting in your life? Ooh. Is this like new beginnings in winter? Like maybe we're going to start crocheting? Are you doing anything new? Do you have any new hobbies, Matt, that we should know about?
Not really.
None? Okay. He's keeping them secret. I can tell.
Yeah. Actually, I am.
Yeah.
I have one. I just don't want to make it public.
Yeah, don't. And you shouldn't. We should keep us enticed. I'm doing ashamels, honeys, like raspberry honey, sumac honey, all sorts of raspberry honey for like polycystic ovarian syndrome, sumac honey for respiratory disease, like different herbal.
Is that like infusions?
Yes.
So kind of like what I was doing with like bourbon to like make potions. Is I would take herbal concoctions and infuse them into bourbon and.
Yes. And I love that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing for prepping homemade holiday gifts and like chocolate, chaga, truffles, and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
So we're making potions over here. Those are some of the new things. What new things are you doing? Share in the chat. And then that's it for Wednesday. That's it for tomorrow. Okay. Not a big deal. Think about what you're starting. And there's Thursday. Dun, dun, dun. Man, it's going to be Thanksgiving. It's going to be Turkey Day. I need to create a day in there somewhere. I need to make it all happen. I'm like not going to worry about it. I'm going to procrastinate like I always do, but I'm very aware that it's not going to probably happen. And if one small thing goes wrong. So I'm looking ahead at the astrology here on this one. We're going to post it Thursday. Sun in Sagittarius. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Squaring off with Saturn and Pisces. Matt, what does it mean?
This is awesome because this is your son wanting to explore and try. Your son being the sign, not a child. Wanting to explore new things and then hitting square right into Saturn, the rule person, who is in Pisces, which is all for the greater good. That's going to shut your shit down. So this is like the one kid that wants to, like, I don't know, you have 4 kids and one wants to pursue their dream to go, I don't know, act or do something. And father steps in and says, that would be unfair to your siblings. We can't support you.
So do we have to do it alone? Is the sun in Sagittarius, the explorer, the great archer, going to make us be like a single arrow and just...
No, you're going to get the pressure on. If you're going to do it alone, it's going to be viewed as selfish.
Oh no.
The rules in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, the rules are all for the benefit of everyone. So if you want to buck against those rules, you are hurting the many for your own benefit.
So this is a great day to work with consent. You know, when I'm working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 and sex crime, consent, permission, these kinds of things fall with Saturn. These are thievery, overstepping, boundaries. Oh, God dang it, not on Thanksgiving. How do we deal with this? How do we use this energy?
Well, that'd be interesting. So I kind of feel like this is somebody like mentioning something on the at the Thanksgiving table. You know, hey, I want to go do this, and like the whole family's going to shoot him down. So if you have some kind of new thing you want to try, want to explore tomorrow, the Thursday is not the day to like announce it to your family because you're probably going to get a bad.
And people will have new things that they're doing because it's Sagittarius season.
Mm-hmm.
Don't share it yet.
I'm going to go back to school. Dumb idea. I'm going to, move and change jobs. Bad idea.
What? What are you going to do that for?
We're going to get engaged. Bad idea. Like
bad
it's all going to be, we're going to get a puppy. Bad idea. Like it's all whatever. Don't, whatever the new thing is that you want to like bring up at the table, don't, because everybody's going to want to shoot it down.
Steph, our chat. I love the chat, guys. If you're not joining us live in the YouTube, that's okay. That's okay. But she shares that this is kind of a low energy. And if you're gonna gamble, why? Because it's like 90-10, not in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Don't set yourself up for that and do the ting, 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 ting. Guess what, everybody? People are gonna feel kerfuffled on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. If you're in Vegas, you are Sun and Sag, and the house is Saturn and Pisces.
Yeah. And they don't play that game. They play to win. Period. Guys. So, Thursday, don't gamble. Take Steph's advice. Take our advice. Just beep. Keep your mouth shut. And if someone says, well, what are you doing these days? Sarah, what's new on your plate? Man, so much. So much. I don't even know where to start. Is that cornbread? Here, let me have some of that. Just skip right past it, guys. Don't share it on Thursday, Thanksgiving. However, the energy is moving and shifting. That's the only thing to really happen on Thursday, unless you guys in the chat have something. Please correct me. Please. Otherwise, it is Friday. Friday. 2 things. Is it just 2 that I have? 1, 2. Yeah, 2 things I have. One of them, more major astrological movement. The other one is a smaller asteroid, planetary kind of thing. But the first one, the bigger one, Friday morning, we wake up after Thanksgiving. Some people announce new things. It didn't go well. People are having reactions. Oh my, oh my. Mars, the planet of fighting, battle cry, the masculine war. It's entering Sagittarius. It's moving into Sagittarius too. Come on, everybody. Sagittarius season.
Yeah, so Mars is action, and now it's aligning with the sun. So Friday's going to be, I don't give a shit what y'all say. I'm going to do it anyway. And so people are going to go ahead and whatever that thing is that they're going to explore and go do.
Whatever.
They're going to do it.
They're going to do it. Over the next 6 weeks, be ready for Mars, Mel Gibson in a kilt on a hill with face paint, in fire, on fire. That's a battle cry, guys. That's the archer. This is take aim, shoot towards the dreams, because people are out there. Pow, pow, traveling, going to school, looking for truth. Are you going to find it? Are you going to do it? People are kind of doing it. They're just doing it. What does that mean for the nation? What does that mean for the world? Right? fire battle cry in Sagittarius over the next 6 weeks. What do you think we should expect with that?
Well, I don't think Sag is. I think Sag stuff is more well thought out, not like Aries, that is just impulsive and just does stuff. Sag is more. I think there's more like intellectual aspect to it of like exploring and learning and do it. So, yeah, there's going to be a move towards doing stuff, but I don't think it's going to be rash. I don't think it's going to be impulsive. Just because they've decided to do something, it doesn't mean they're going to do it right away. Excuse me. So.
You're funny. Yeah. Yeah. Just because they've decided to go back to school, it's going to, start on January 1st.
Yeah.
In the spring semester. You know what I mean? Okay. The next thing happening is a series. Am I saying that right? It's a dwarf planet. There's some really cute YouTube videos, by the way, for kids and adults about the planets of our solar system, I believe is what it's called. But there's one too of the dwarf planets. That's how I learned kind of about Ceres being in that. And it's in the middle, kind of around Mars and Jupiter. Discovered
like an asteroid, right?
Ago. Yeah. Yeah. So a dwarf planet asteroid thing. Big old thing out there in the sky. Just big enough to be big, but not so big. It's kind of like Pluto, but it's never, ever been a planet. Not really. Not a real planet. But anyway, what about it? I'm going to put that in there. Steph says, man, I kind of love the dwarf planets. We love the dwarf planets. Cranky, angry, accident prone, throwing caution to the wind. What are we going to see? Says the chat room. This is great. We don't know for sure, but Ceres too, that little baby dwarf planet who's out there by Mars and Jupiter, he's also going into Sagittarius. So this is supposed to be your personal horizons. Your personal horizons expanding, learning, maybe learning a new language, maybe a new culture, maybe meeting new people, socializing. Maybe you're going to join a quartet. How are you socializing as of Friday? This is going to be kind of a big, who's your friend group? Who are our allies? Ooh, that might be one. How do we feel about that?
I don't know the dwarf planets very well, so
I don't either.
Just say,
I just considered another little tally over there and for it to be about personal horizons.
Yeah, I think it's just, it aligns with this general theme of people doing new things and exploring and
yeah. Steph says new job, new career, new outfit, new closet, new car, new wheels. Get it. All new stuff. Great time to go thrift store shopping. Great time to go antiquing. Great time to purge things because everybody else is doing it. Things in your life, physical things, emotional things, regret, shame, humiliation, rejection. I would also say Sagittarius for those advanced witches out there working, especially like in the mentoring space, seeking, like a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing kind of a thing. What are you seeking anyway? Realigning that target like Robin Hood. What are you stealing for and from and for what? Just that reevaluation. And when you sit there and go, oh, sure, right? And like things just kind of fall to the wayside that weren't and aren't maybe as important anymore. Black Friday, said Steph. Go figure. Oh, I forgot about that. It's going to be Black Friday as people go out and explore.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish I was a dumpster diver. I bet Black Friday is great for dumpster diving. Or maybe that Saturday morning is better. I don't know. I don't do it. If you're a dumpster diver in the chat room, share.
I never thought I'd hear.
Really?
I was a dumpster diver.
Well, my phone's listening, so I won't talk too loud. But I said that once, and then TikTok heard me, and I started following this lady who does dumpster diving. And the stuff that they find in the dumpsters, my God, it makes me feel guilty of ever buying anything ever. Brand new stuff, Matt.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like Nike, Air Jordan stuff just thrown in the Foot Locker because there's a new shoe out. So now we got to throw them all away. Wow. Anyway, so I have moments like that. Saturday. Let's focus, Sarah. Saturday. Saturday, only one thing happening, unless, of course, those in the chat have something different. And please do, if you do, share it. Only thing I have for Saturday. Mars. Ooh, it's another Mars thing. In Sagittarius, because we know that. Squaring off with Saturn and Pisces again. This is another rule day.
Same kind of thing. This is just rules getting in the way of now. Before you were announcing what you're going to do, now you're actually trying to do it, and the rule people are going to get in your way and try to shut you down. So the cards are stacked against kind of whatever this new idea is that people are going to have or what they are. Cards are going to be stacked against them. The universe is going to kind of be working against you doing this new thing.
I wonder, that current is so negative against the newness. It's a really interesting kind of siphon. Because it's going to be this really busy week, right? With holiday crap. You're going to want to nap. You're going to want to rest. It's Saturday. You're going to probably feel exhausted after Black Friday. No. Again. Negativity again. We're going to get shut down again. Huh. Okay. I wonder how people will take this. I wonder how this will move through the beginning to the holiday season. Because usually it's cheer and happiness and excitement. Do, 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 do. And Steph has, but the moon will be conjunct Jupiter. So let's add that because that's important. Right. So it'll be moon waxing into Gemini. I don't know that it will be in Gemini yet. So Steph, please correct me on that and I'll double check. And Jupiter is currently what? Well,
it would have to be Gemini if it's... I was just going to say, I don't remember doing any Jupiter and Taurus in our whole shows, which is weird.
Right. And let's look. Planets. Man, guys, I used to always have like all the stuff up. But my computer recently, I had to do like a reset. Now I don't have all my saved things anymore. And I really realize how much I lean on some of those, like, anyway. Yeah, Jupiter still, I mean, it's in Taurus. It's going to stay in Taurus. And I was going to try and kind of look ahead just to make sure that the moon, what we would know it to be. So
maybe before the moon transits if Jupiter's close.
Where Jupiter and Taurus.
I can't find my chart that I usually pull up.
Feelings, because the moon waxing in Gemini, I think of the moon. So these are feelings growing around that rejection, needing more perspective and double the insight, lots of worldview and change afoot. Maybe I'll put in there. Squaring off with, I think sometimes as that maybe, this kind of conflict space with Jupiter. Jupiter's the big boy, right? Mm-hmm. But Jupiter in Taurus is so calm and stubborn.
Well, Jupiter's always opportunity, but Taurus doesn't really want to, Taurus just wants to chill.
Yeah.
So maybe it's an opportunity to just relax.
Chill out. And
you're going to want a mental health day because that's the moon part. And opportunities will align to let you have that mental health day. There's an interesting question in the chat then too.
What is that? So what advice do you have for an empath on how to deal with all these changes as they occur? That is a good question. And I would say just because since there's not a whole lot of movements happening and it looks like we'll have time, I mean, that's relevant right now. So then I would say for me as an empath, when I know all of these changes are happening, specifically Pluto, knowing that things are fire. I'm working with earth, water, air, fire. If I know a lot of stuff is tipping into fire, not only do I know what it is,
just change the angle. It's all whited out.
Oh,
you can't see what you're doing.
Rip.
There you go. That's better.
There we go. Since I know that Sagittarius is a fire energy, I kind of wonk it out like that. And I start to think, okay, how can I align my thoughts and my feelings with what it is that I'm saying and doing? And what is it that I'm going to do in Sagittarius? There's going to be goal-oriented living. I might put a copper thing in my pocket that I rub, a rubbing stone to help me ground. I will often touch up my jewelry or change my eyeliner or makeup or routine, add some exercise, action, walking, salt in my water. What am I going to do differently to help me meet my goals? And as an empath, that action is a conscious way of catalyzing energy that you know is stirring around you that otherwise makes you feel anxious if you haven't organized it, at least for me. What do you do, Matt, to deal with all the changes?
Say, this is going to sound simple, but probably oversimplified, but you need to have good boundaries. So I'd say, regardless of what's going on in the astrological space, anyone with these kind of, sensitivities on things, and it's a constant, it's not like a black or white thing. It's like a constant journey to get stronger on that, but you got to, work on controlling when you let those things in versus just getting flooded by those things, which again, that's not something that you just do. It's kind of a learning process on how to better filter it out. Because I'm sure most people can't totally turn it off, but you can learn to kind of channel it.
And it's different for everybody too. So if I say that's Epsom true. Salt baths,
you get the information different ways too. Like right. Not everybody receives that energy the same way.
Right. I do a lot of preparing gifts this time of year because it's gratitude and giving. A lot of the work I do, like spiritually and empathically, is acceptance, access, boundaries, boundary words, consent, permission. Who's coming with me on my journey if I were a little pilgrim? Where am I going? Who am I moving and pushing out? And at what expense? Am I on the offense or the defense? Who's, sharing these spaces and cornfields with me? What am I doing about it? I think about just moving into action and that sweat. Yeah. I recently went and did the sauna. That was my going into Sagittarius. I put it on my note to go to the sauna. Feel hot, that heat. Someone said I have fantastic eyebrows. Thank you. Because, I don't do anything to my eyebrows. This is a thing I'm learning, Matt. It's pretty popular nowadays for women to not only get their hair done, but their eyebrows and eyelashes. I don't really know what that entails, but it seems like a lot of upkeep. So I appreciate that because I'm not about to do all that. So that's, I appreciate that. Okay, guys, Sunday. Now I want to use my eyebrows. Sunday. We only have one small thing happening, guys, but it's right before something really big happening. So, small thing happening on Sunday, and that's that the moon just is gently waxing into Gemini. Okay, so it's not quite in Gemini that day before in the Jupiter space.
Yeah, it was Taurus.
Taurus.
Opportunity to take your mental health day.
Yeah, be lazy on Sunday or Saturday night. Be lazy.
No, emotionally, just on Sunday. Again, the moon ones are these are light energies, but it's emotional, so you'll feel it. It's moving from that again, kind of stable, stay home to it's going to be more extroverted now. So people may be like chilling out on Saturday, and then Sunday they'll be reaching out and talking to people and contacting people. And Gemini is very extroverted energy.
Sorry about what happened on Thanksgiving, man. That was rough. Everyone shot your new art project down. Yeah, and I didn't answer my phone yesterday. I was sleeping. But the game's on today. You want to come over and we'll catch up? Talk about that new thing you're doing? Ooh. Now might be the time. Now might be the time to talk about it. Or maybe not. Boundaries are going to be about air boundaries and goals. Don't piss into the wind. Use it. Right? Steph in the chat room says the one that I'm looking for Sunday is, and man, this is why we love having our house astrologers in here. This is a quincux thing. I don't know what that means. I have a master's degree. Don't know what that means. So there's that.
It's a smaller angle. So I got them all mixed up. There's like
quincux. So that's got to be 4.
And, quincux and
quincux would be 8th. Venus quincux Uranus. Yeah. What does that mean? She says, listen, this is Venus quincux Uranus. And so this is about looking out for watching relationships, maybe seeing some restlessness or seeking freedom on Sunday. Ooh, let's kind of add that little part in there, for all of our witches. Venus quincunx. Uranus. And when I think of Uranus, I think of a curveball. So I like it that she's saying relationships experiencing some tension, about restlessness. I already know what this is going to be for me. What's it going to be for you?
Me? See, here's the thing with me in these smaller ones. It's subtle. So it's going to be subtle stuff. So I have a hard time making big predictions on things that I think are going to be like subtle, like nudges. So yeah, I think. And what's Venus in now? I like lost track. I know Taurus is in, or Uranus is in Taurus. I'm trying to remember which one quincux would be. Anyway.
Well, hold on. I'm looking at, because I want to pull up the visual for those people joining us. And I'm thinking 23rd, 24th, 25th. That's 26th. Venus is in Libra.
Okay.
And so I'm going to put this, it's the planetstoday.com is what I use. And so when I think of Libra, I think of that balance. I think of liberty. That's that freedom, that being blinded by the light.
It's 150 degrees.
150 degrees?
They're 150 degrees from each other when they're quincux.
Wow, I just had a blonde moment. I thought 100 degrees was 360 degrees. And I was like, how can you even be 150 degrees? Oh my God, Sarah, 180 is a half turn. Okay.
All good.
But that's what I think of. I think of as a dancer, a 180 is a half turn, a 360 is a full. So 150 is not quite a half turn.
Here's another way that I look at it. I look at it by like how many signs you're away. So this is like Cheating with Astrology by Matt. There's 360 degrees. There's 12 signs. So each sign is 30 degrees. So if it's 150 degrees, they're 5 signs away.
Holy macaroni math.
So your quincuxes would be Aries and Aquarius.
Well, and Jupiter and Uranus
are 5 degrees off from Virgo, where all your energy is.
Dang. Yeah, they are.
Mine would be, what would that be? Leo. Interesting. So I've married my quincux aspect. Leo and Libra, I think.
That's crazy. I didn't think of it that way in my mind. See, this is why I so appreciate the different perspectives of astrology, Matt. Your engineering mind sees things very differently. And it's important for me to see it that way because it's a completely different way of processing it. Man.
So square, I'll just do the quick ones here. So square is 90 degrees. So those are 3 signs apart, which also then when you look at the wheel, it's all the
quarters.
Yeah, it's all the cardinal signs, all the fixed signs, all the mutable signs, whatever your opposite is, are the ones that you're square to. So like if you are a Virgo, Sarah, she is opposite Pisces, but her squares are Gemini and Sag.
My brain's melting in math. Just so you know, my brain's like it's recalibrating.
So I always dial it back. I always dial it back to the signs when you do these different aspects and kind of how their energies go, and then kind of filter everything else, dump everything else into those.
So for those of you agnostic people out there wavering and vacillating, this is how psychic awareness and prediction, and I would even say placement or awareness or mindfulness of where you are, when you are, is so important. And this is how it's relevant right here, looking up at the cosmos and knowing your place in it and their place and what that means for us. And it really does change people's behaviors. The patterns are really fantastic. It's like watching.
I'll just add, sometimes I feel like Rain Man with the way my brain does math in a weird way.
It does. That's why I like it though. That's why I love it. Okay. Sunday. That was Sunday. Rest over the weekend, especially Saturday. Sunday, we might touch base, start socializing with people, relationship, restlessness. Okay, what about Monday? Monday. Full moon. Woo, woo. Get out your crystals, get out your candles. Full moon. Big boy. Full moon in Gemini. Holiday season, quickly approaching. Gemini. Energetic. Socializing. It kind of gives you that ability to maybe face the chaos and get out there. Talk about it.
So this is still from the new moon in Scorpio?
Yes.
Interesting. So, usually they're opposite of each other. So you take the energies that way. But in this case, it would be the Scorpio, that kind of intensity. And I view it like this is the peak of that cycle. So the peak being in Gemini now, where it's very extroverted. So I feel like it's taking your inner intensity, that inner emotional things, and actually channeling that energy outward towards others. So, so usually that quiet intensity that is characteristic of Scorpio is going to get turned loose in an extroverted way. So that could be interesting. Could be very, very productive. Could be explosive. Could be bodies in basements. You never know. It's interesting. Another interesting Monday.
I had written the word unleash when I did my monthly.
That works.
I did.
That fits.
Unleash. The neurolinguistics for that. What is it that you have on hold? What is it that you're allowing free? What is it that you're keeping on your porch? What is it that's going to be let go? What does that mean? Letting go, coming back? Is it like a Christina Aguilera song? What does it mean? What does it mean? This is going to be a lot of, for those witches out there in Gemini, air magic. So singing, drumming, a lot of bowls, singing bowls, a lot of binaural beats, a lot of vibration, a lot of, I think of Inya, and I think of like all the different music that's vocal, air.
I'm not going to call it out because it would be inappropriate, but my one son always watches all these like Family Guy clips. It's like try not to laugh challenges. Yeah. And I'll just leave it at this, that there was something you did in that little thing that reminded me of an offensive Family Guy clip that I can't repeat, but now that's stuck in my head.
I know exactly what it was, too.
For the 500th week in a row, the number one song is...
Quiet. Okay. Shh. 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 Yes. Petopia. Guys, this is going to be a big deal for this full moon in Gemini. What are we singing about? What praises are you belting? What is the tone of your voice? What is the soundtrack to your new things you're doing? What are you doing? What kind of magic are you conjuring in that space? Do we have anything else happening on Monday? Ooh, ew, we do.
It's got to be Neptune. It's got to be Neptune.
I like it. He says that, of course, because so this will be Monday night. We've had a full moon in the morning. And then Monday night, Mercury in Sagittarius with Neptune in Pisces. Ew. Crisis.
This is such a cool week because basically you can just summarize it all up about people are going to have these wonderful ideas and the universe is just going to be like raining and crapping all over these new things you want to try. And this is the same thing. So this is communicating about something new and something you want to explore, and it's running smack into dreams and deceptions and fantasy. And so you might have basically this is having your dreams burst, like people bursting your bubble on your dreams energy. So
And I would agree. And I got to write that word because this is kind of that synchronicity of how do things come to us. Steph in the chat room shared a really interesting word that I think fits really well here, because Mercury and Sagittarius, like this is, I think of getting sucked into arguments. I think of people having drama, people doing well, so-and-so said it was stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway. Well, I think you shouldn't do that. Or like this newness, or I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to start this new career. And maybe that relationship person, I actually see the beginning of Eat, Pray, Love playing out to me, where Julia Roberts' character is like, oh, you want to be a teacher? You want to do that? You want to do this? And like not feeling it. They're just not in it. And there's this stubborn energy about escaping. I would say if you're a self-sabotaging person, there's a good chance that shit isn't working out the way that you want and people aren't supporting you. They think that this, that, and the other is a bad idea. And you just find yourself out all alone on this island thinking, you know what? I've either got to sink or swim. Nobody's out here supporting me. I got to just do it. This might be the self-sabotage moment that people go, fuck it. I'm not doing it. I can't do this. I'm leaving. It's too much. I can't handle this. If it's not going to be perfect, it's not going to happen. That'll be the Virgo thing that happens. I got to be careful of that. You know, if it can't be absolutely perfect, then I don't want it. Really?
This isn't a good week for the easily discouraged. There'll be a lot of discouraging energy this week.
I would say that question of how to use this energy, breath work, air. As things move with air and fire, think of a fireman opening doors, shutting doors, containing fires, airing fires, letting things. Steph says the song might be that song, Run, Run Away.
It's not a song.
No.
You're talking about what the joke was.
Oh,
it wasn't really a song.
No. She says no, I think about the song Run, Run Away. Okay. But I don't know what song that is because I think, and I ran.
No, the only one I know what that. The only one I know that's Run, Run Away is a Slade song from the 80s, but that's
Run, Run Away.
Probably not what she's referencing.
No, but Unleash. Man, it makes me think my dog might get out of the yard. Careful. Where are you going? Where are you escaping to? Or what?
Which I'm just going to add. I just got a notice on my phone, but I don't know. This could be hours late. I just saw it. Oh, Slade. Yeah, it is the Slade song. I like that song. Now I had my squirrel moment here. But we said something significant would happen Monday, Tuesday that would have profound significance. Supposedly a 4-day ceasefire was agreed on in the Middle East to exchange hostages. So that could be the big thing that shifts stuff.
I don't know. I don't believe it for a second. I also know that Joe Biden's people went over there to talk about oil refineries in Gaza and in the outskirts of the sea, like exchanging resources for gas prices. That we're going to see gas prices go down really low, strangely, right now, which isn't usual. Anyway, that's a whole nother. Anyway, wild. But yes, politically, maybe we're seeing some of this happening. Big earthquakes hitting this week. Big earthquake hit today, said Steph.
Is that in Alaska?
Ooh.
I heard about a landslide, but that may have been tied to the
There's been
earthquake.
Alaska. There's one in India and Illinois. We had an earthquake 3.6 in Illinois. What's going on? Tuesday, I don't have any major astrological movements. That will be the day after the full moon. So I don't know how we feel about that. Unless, of course, someone in the chat room has something else that they would like to share. The moon will at this point be officially waning. And it will be on the 28th. It will be... Man, where is that thing? Where is the moon? It'll be waning in Gemini still. It doesn't move really until early morning on the 29th into Cancer. So not a whole lot happening, which always makes me a little aware. A big open space. Sometimes silence is saying quite a bit, you know? So knowing what we know now, we've covered the whole week ahead, the last chunk of November. What a doozy. What do we have to say about what to expect in the news? I'm looking back over the political stuff. We have explosive. Where is the boundary line? Negative currents, friend groups, do it anyway, and soapbox written for the next 7 days. What do you think, Matt? What should we expect?
I think this is going to be, I think you need to mentally prep and rest up over the holiday for everything. I think this is going to be a discouraging week. I think all the energies out there are going to be directed towards kind of putting down your ambition and your drive. And so
it's too cold. We're too poor. You're too old. You're too short. We can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Didn't you read the sign? You can't. It's too much, too little, not enough. What is that going to be? What is that going to be? I'll share, usually I don't share personal information, but I'll share as I see this playing out and how maybe it pertains. This is interesting to me because I think, okay, Pluto and Capricorn, there's a lot of shifts happening. For me, it's career based, like major shifts in career. I applied for a big position about a month ago, been really excited about getting that position. And I had to reach out to all my other like universities and jobs and like all the things that I do to make sure, like write it all up professionally that, okay, we can do this. I can't, because there's conflicts of interest, and get it all approved. And then I sit back down at my computer and I get a resend letter where they resend the thing because I wasn't as excited as they would have liked to have seen in the pre-hiring process. I wasn't excitedly responding to their emails, which
really,
which the reason I wasn't responding to their emails is I had to reach out to other people and like, I've got people over here that have cancer and people over there who they're planning Thanksgiving and people over here who are deployed. And so like waiting to hear back and not really rushing it. And then them going, and then me making accommodations, like moving my life around for this new career position. And then suddenly to get a resend offer, like, never mind. And then you sit and think, okay, am I going to be upset about this? Did I need that job? Well, yeah, I did. I had now planned for that job for the holidays. Okay, now what am I going to do? Interesting. Like, and I see this as in that this full moon coming up, new opportunities. What new things are happening? What new energy do you have to apply to things? Where, that I'm not going to take this rejection. No, you can't do this. You weren't excited enough. You weren't quick enough. You didn't respond to an email fast enough. Okay. Okay, then. What does the universe have in store for me? I refuse to be negative about it. I'm going to ground. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to accept and give access to positive things that I'm sure of, that are dependable. And all the other stuff can just float on by. But
There you go.
that's easier said than done. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Man. So I'm excited to see how the astrology pans out for all of you guys listening, joining, and watching along. And Matt, I'm excited to see how it pans out for you. Always kind of sharing stuff. You've got, guys, 5 kids, quadruplets in young adulthood, the drama of young adulthood, college, relationships, cars, all the things. I mean, just craziness. So I'm always excited to see maybe how that affects you and your children and family dynamics, because it does. I'm sure you see it play out.
Absolutely.
So you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us each and every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of us. I'm going to put in the chat room where they can do that, Matt. What am I forgetting?
Sunday Night Dead's on hold because I'm going to be traveling next week. Yeah, we'll try to get. I might hop on if I get. That's probably taking on too much, but I'm building a thing of equipment, and if I get it built tomorrow, I might do some live experiments. So keep your eyes open for that. But then I'm up in Pennsylvania for a while, so I won't be.
Are the leaves changing up there, or is it snowing in there?
It won't be snow. We're eastern part of the state, so I mean you can get snow, but it's usually not until like late December when you start getting snow there. But the leaves are all long gone. Leaves are usually gone by Halloween. Okay. Unlike here, where we're just wrapping up there's still some trees with leaves on it. Like November is the big leaf thing here.
Thank God.
And then when it rains, much like the first snow, like in Minnesota or Pennsylvania, rain in winter here. I don't know why people lose their ever-loving minds.
That first week,
it could be 70 degrees and raining, and people will be driving like it's icy because it's December.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Mm-hmm. I'm really worried about the holidays, actually, because I'm kind of nervous at the timing of how that drive is. It's kind of a 6-hour highway drive, and I hate it when like the big, like all that stuff. I just want it to be dry snow. Like I hate driving in wet snow or rain at night, and everything looks like I feel like I'm in Tron. Gosh dang it. I just want it to be a nice, calm afternoon, please, where I can just look at the stuff and go, look, Iowa. But I should be so lucky because the weather and people they drive crazy. If it's the first week of snow, I don't even know. People just fly around like they're on the Jetsons or something, like roads don't even exist. Just crazy. Makes me feel so unsafe. Anyway.
Well, I told you, I'll share real quick. Just a couple hours ago, it's pouring here, so the visibility is bad. And we have this really bad intersection, and I'm on an interstate in the far left lane, and all of a sudden, a car comes.
Is he frozen like that, or am I frozen? Am I frozen? Are you frozen? Are we frozen? In the chat room, if you're listening, are we frozen? Because I don't want to be talking. I don't want to be talking over the show if no one else can hear us. But no one in the chat. Matt is frozen. This is my favorite. Oh, it went away. Did you guys see that frozen picture? That's my favorite thing to do if you find yourself getting disappointed or frustrated at digital technological freezings. It is my favorite thing to do, to take screenshots of matching the face. If someone's frozen, you know that you only have so much time before it's going to refresh and that they're going to go away. And so trying to match their expression and then get a screenshot is my absolute favorite thing to do. And then I almost kind of look forward to those moments because I've got some real doozies. Depending on who dies first, me and my best friend have some real funny screenshots where she's like doing that and I'm matching her. And then we put like little bubbles, like, inappropriate things. It's really fun. So anyway, I encourage you to work with the jives of the universe. My only concern is that I don't know how to end the stream because I am not the host anymore as I used to be. So what we will do though is say thank you for joining us, and I will leave the studio. Hopefully that just ends it all. We shall see. And yes, Steph, it is very evil to do that. It's a lovely thing to send people those screenshots when they're having a bad day and say it could always be worse. You could look like this today. Send them. They're so much fun. That's the kind of friend I am, just so you know. But I truly do enjoy each and every one of you tuning in. We couldn't do this show without you. So thank you so very much. I hope you have a great Turkey Day, a wonderful holiday, whatever it is that you might be celebrating, that you get time with friends and family, get some good food. Be sure and follow me on social media at Paranormal Sarah. I have some really cool updates and announcements this week that you are not going to want to miss. And for Black Friday, some really cool psychic reading specials and jewelry and a bunch of my stuff behind me because I'm going to be shifting and moving my craft room and I've got to downsize it quite a bit. So my loss, sure gain, right? All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. And until next Tuesday on Astrology and Alchemy, we will see you then.